Hi everyone, and welcome to another Cook and Chat video where I cook something up while having the occasional existential crisis. And today I'm making these Swedish style cardamom scented almond cream stuffed buns called Semla, while talking about the current trend of using honesty and authenticity as an excuse to be a horrible person to other people on the internet. Fun times! Before we begin, you can find the full recipe for these buns on my blog tashcakes.com, which I've put a link to in the description below. Right, on to the topic of the week. So we're all taught as children how to handle other kids being mean to us for no good reason, right? Ignore it, confide in a trusted adult or friend, don't stoop to the attacker's level by fighting back the same way, etc. And we're taught how to handle when we're truly in the wrong too. Apologise, make amends if possible, and make an effort to change our behaviour for the better. But what do you do when someone says something mean about you in a very public way? You get upset because it's not true, and their response is, "You're just upset because I'm right." It's a trap. But Tash, I hear you say, what if it is true? Then it's fine to be brutally honest, right? Well, the problem is that truth is often frustratingly flexible depending on who's talking and what the context is, especially on social media and the internet where tone gets lost in text and people cherry pick what they want to see and hear. It's easy to feel like the champion of all things correct when you're in the throes of righteous anger, but the clearest, most rational thinking isn't often done in anger. And I think that even when the truth is clear-cut, there's a difference between being brutally honest and being a jerk. Brutally honest is when you tell someone a truth that's hard to hear, but not when you attack them for it. It's the difference between you telling a friend, "Sorry, I wasn't actually a fan of the cookies you made me," and "Your cookies taste like crap." And also, being a jerk never changes anything for the better. Let's back up a bit. Authentic, real, spitting facts. Sassy, savage, unfiltered, woke. All, in theory, terms that describe someone who isn't afraid to tell the truth when it matters. But they're also terms that are now abused by people who are more interested in scoring points, being entertaining and looking good without actually doing good. Story time. A couple of years ago, there were two food bloggers I used to follow on Instagram who openly prided themselves on honest reviews. Which already irked me, to be honest, because all reviews should be honest, but then again, this is Instagram we're talking about. This was all well and good, but then their posts started getting less informational and more personal until honest reviews became savage reviews. Their captions would be punctuated with all capital letters and grimace emojis and say things like, "I'm not afraid to call restaurant XYZ out, so I'm tagging them 3 times. No exaggeration. And then they'd post the odd good review and put something in the caption like, "And you know I'm hard to please, so you know it's gotta be good." And people seemed to love it. But not for the honesty. People loved it for the drama. I felt so bad for those poor restaurants who'd probably never been contacted beforehand about supposed problems. One or two tried to defend themselves, but were met with, "You should take constructive criticism better" kind of replies. But the thing is, a lot of it wasn't constructive criticism, it was just strong opinions voiced in a rude way, but dipped in the shiny glaze of authenticity. Another time I was out with a group of food bloggers and I overheard one saying to the other, "I saw blogger XYZ post a review of this place and saw that she said this particular cake was good, but I think the cake was trash." I DM'd her about it and asked her to admit what she really thought about it, and she got all defensive and she said she did like it. But I seriously question the taste of anyone who likes that place. So you see the problem with spitting facts without thinking, right? It's really, I'm presenting an abrasive opinion as fact and you're proving me right by being upset. And also now you might see why I stopped going to blogger meetups. But what if those mean words said to you blow up on the internet and you get cancelled? And I don't mean for actually serious stuff like hurting people or literally breaking the law, I mean for stupid stuff like not wanting to show your face on camera on YouTube because you value your privacy, or for donating to charity but not donating enough, or for something dumb but ultimately harmless you said on Twitter 10 years ago that you've since apologised for but that someone dug up who didn't also dig up the apology. Honestly, there's not much you can do. Look, if you screwed up and you know it, apologise, strive to do better, forgive yourself and move on with your life. If you know in your heart the things being said about you aren't true, don't apologise because that will only make you feel worse about yourself, and the people bullying you get to give themselves a big old pat on the back for doing absolutely nothing. Of course, movements like Me Too have been instrumental in taking some serious bad guys out. But again, I'm not talking about actual crimes and hurting people. I'm talking about situations like if someone's publicly calling you out as a bad person because you, I don't know, donated to a children's charity instead of an environmental charity or vice versa. Or because someone didn't like the same cake as you so they think you're being fake. At the end of the day, you're just going to have to be okay that there are some people that want you to fail because, of course, if you're right, that means they're wrong. And nobody wants to be wrong, especially the loudest ones. Like I said, it's a trap. So the only but hardest thing to do when in a heightened emotional situation like this is to remove emotion from the equation and step back from your own snap emotional response, which, as you can imagine, can only make things worse. When you're dealing with the kind of person that's clearly not here for a discussion and only here to have a go at you, then they're going to view you standing up for yourself as going on the defensive and avoiding accountability, and make them even more resolute in their beliefs. Of course, genuine accountability avoidance for actual serious things does happen, but these days people are so quick to shut someone down over silly stuff by saying that as a dirty shortcut to shutting the other person down and winning an argument. Kind of like how the phrases toxic, gaslighting and tone deaf were used and then misused to death last year. Newsflash, using those phrases doesn't automatically make you woke, which incidentally is another overused word that already can't be said unironically. It might actually make you willfully ignorant when used wrongly or as an automatic shutdown. You can probably tell I'm getting a tiny bit heated in this one, and it's because I really do wish people were kinder to each other. I know there are people who will just say, you know what, people aren't nice, it's a fact of life, so you'd better shut up and get over it. But then what's the point of trying at all? Life would be pretty awful if literally everyone gave up on at least trying to treat others with kindness. And I know it's corny, but I really do believe that we should be the change we want to see. The next time you see someone trip over, be the first person to help them up. The next time you see someone spill their drink, be that person who gets them some tissues. Don't awkwardly wait for someone else to do it and then look at their helper with admiration, wishing you could be like that. Be it. It might not come naturally at first, but we can all learn. And don't be so quick to put someone else on blast before you know the full picture, because you might turn out to be the a-hole after all. So the next time someone takes an unfair jab at you online and calls it a service, take a deep breath, but don't get baited and don't engage. Let them think what they're going to think, and if they drag other people into it, prove them wrong just by continuing to do your thing. And if you're feeling needled by something that someone else has done, and are tempted to chew them out publicly for it, ask yourself first, is what you're about to say really for others' benefits? And will there be a positive outcome all round? Or do you just want to say it for your own satisfaction? Thanks for watching and or listening. I hope you enjoyed today's video and found something in it useful, and I hope you'll join me next Wednesday for my next one. It'll be March already, can you believe that? A whole year since the first lockdown here in the UK. Crazy times, but I hope the only way's up. Anyway, get the full recipes for all of these videos on my blog tashcakes.com. And find me on Instagram as tashcakestastes. Subscribe and hit the notification bell if you'd like to see more. Comment down below if you'd like me to talk about anything in particular or make anything in particular. And I'll see you guys later. Stay safe, be nice, and I mean it, and have a good week.